But anyway, I think that's a very small part of this relationship that I'm talking about that we have with the stars. I think we've lost track of it, and if that's one truth, there's so much more. Like, I genuinely believe there is some chaos to the universe, but I think the chaos exists to constantly produce greater and greater harmony, because I do believe that there's harmony that's working in the universe for the most part. And I think we're losing that. We're losing a sense of community. We're losing a sense of self in relation to that community because of the new agendas and propagandas which are being pushed at the time. But what I do, coming back to the festival, what I really do like about that, the concept of it and the stars, is really bringing us back to this very basic and fundamental truth about us as individuals. I think also in terms of size, we don't have a proper appreciation for how massive the universe is, like you were saying. So Earth is such a small part, and if you don't appreciate how small we are in relation to how big the universe is, you don't know how much you don't know, but you also don't know how much more truth exists out there. And you can live in a very small world, not knowing how big stuff is. You know, there was a time humanity didn't know about electricity, but we thought that we knew it all. Only to come to find that one time, oh, you know, we can power up stuff with electricity. We didn't know about gravity, we didn't know about flight, but we thought that we knew it all. And now we're flying all over the world. We didn't know about microwave technology. And I just feel like the universe is constantly showing us, no, you haven't even begun in your understanding of the forces of the universe and what makes stuff work. And I think if there's anything that should convict us that there's more out there, that we're not living our full expression of life, it is the universe. It is all these stars that you talk about. But that's what I really, again, I believe that this festival will aim to do. Is that awakening should come back to who am I? Who am I in relation to all of these things?
Yeah, because it's both of that that's important. It's interesting that you also mention, you know, when it comes to the festival, and when I look at the way that festivals are done, and also what in a way we are trying to build or create here, you know, this idea, again, festivals come with an idea, with one way of doing things, with one logo, with one so on. But if you're doing a festival that has at its core the idea of the stars, then there has to be automatically a million ways of doing things that actually are all supposed to be shining their lights, because it's a festival made up of people for whom the expression of the star within them is going to be unique, you know, and is going to be the expression of the star within them, without this sense of also, if you look at the stars to see how they are both individual, they're just themselves, you know, no star is trying to shine like another star, but they're all in community and they're all in relationship. And that's what we as people are struggling towards, you know. In some ways we've been really hard hit by Corona, in other ways also by the, you know, when I look at both the positives that the internet has brought, and then also the way that it's corrupted a lot of communities, in that people, you know, they're afraid of what can be done to them online, in a sense, you could say. And so again, that coming back to self, and then that also means coming back into community and kind of growing those relationships. But again, yeah, as you said, it's just very true, because from the perspective of the stars, we get out of that just thinking here, just thinking, you know, oh, you know, this is good, this is bad, or this is worthwhile, this isn't. Even thinking, like, judging yourselves from the perspective of a human being. Because from the perspective of the stars, all they want to do, you know, from so many traditional cultures, so many traditional myths, what the stars want is to hear our voices. They just want to hear our genuine voices, you know. They actually see us. They actually miss us. They actually think about us, you know. And we're actually here. And so they call for a level of authenticity that for a lot of people is, I don't know whether you can say terrifying or whether it's just different, you know, just different. Because it involves thinking outside of all of these very small bubbles and boxes that we've created for ourselves as people, you know, whether it's politics, whether it's you know, even certain kinds of spirituality, whether it's a certain level of like I should be like this or I should be like that, because they tell us a story about ourselves that spans lifetimes, that spans, you know, millions of years, that spans like a grand and beautiful project and a longevity and continuity of the soul. You know, like you can't get outside of it. You know, the stars are really unconcerned that we die and that we die over and over and over again. They're very unconcerned about that. In fact, one of the things that really moves me about the stars is that a lot of them that we see shining, that are shining their lights on us right now, are actually already dead.
Oh,
you know,
that's good.
but their light has already, it's still coming towards us, you know,
sure,
because of the speed of light and so on and so forth. So there's just that thing of like